mark the start of spooky season? When does that become official for you? Have I asked you this?
You probably have, or I've just told you when you didn't ask me. There is a local brand of candy apples called Happy Apples.
I think you mentioned this recently.
The day Happy Apples are in Schnucks is when Halloween starts.
Yeah. Rachel brought me home two of these like caramel apple lollipops. So that was a hint that things are getting started. But I feel like I kind of stumbled into my spooky season this year. I don't necessarily have a thing that like really denotes it for me. I tend to watch over the garden wall closer to Halloween. But nothing that's like, and then this playlist comes out on this specific date, or when this store starts playing this song, right? It's not that. I'm gonna jump right into my cinema corner and start with a show called Light Shop. This is a show that I found on Hulu, Disney Plus. It's a Korean show, and was not expecting it to be a horror. Maybe some like mysterious stuff, right? A little bit of spooky stuff, but this show definitely starts out as a horror show. And I would almost describe it as one part Junji Ito, one part Midnight Diner. Which is really interesting. And that was what I was kind of going for, the like Midnight Diner side of things. The description was like, there's this light shop at the end of this dark alley where strangers find themselves in, right?
What define light shop? Is it a lamp store?
Yes, they sell light bulbs and lamps and stuff like that. And so, yeah, it felt like, these like different strangers all find themselves somehow in this shop needing a light. And like the story of how they got there is like the emotional journey or something like that. And I was like, that sounds a lot like Midnight Diner. I should check it out. And then it's like scary, like right at the start. And I'm just like, oh God, this is not what I signed up for. It has an incredible first episode. I think it's phenomenal. But the show does something that I don't know if I've really seen any other show do exactly. There's tons of shows out there that are a mix of multiple genres, right? And stuff like that. But I don't think I've ever truly seen a show switch genres. Period. And like it starts out as one thing, and then by the end, it like, I don't know if I would really describe this as a horror show, even though like the first 2 or 3 episodes,
just one is, yeah,
right. But like it definitely transitions. But by the end of that, like knowing the whole context, you're like, I don't know. It switches genres in a way that I haven't seen before. And that was kind of neat. It ends up being more of like a emotional melodrama where the stuff that you thought was terrifying, and they have some really scary imagery in it. But as the show continues and you learn more context about like what's happening and all of that stuff, because there is a mystery, so to speak. The stuff that was scary is no longer scary, right? It's kind of an experiment in the like the fear of the unknown kind of thing, of like you don't know what's happening, but then by the end when you do, you're like, oh, that's so sad. Like I'm crying now. Like like
mysterious,
it's emotional. Fascinating show. So I feel like I stumbled into spooky season now that like I watched that. It's like, well, all right, I guess I can start watching
Doors
scary
open.
stuff. Yeah. The vampires have been invited in. Good stuff. Good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, if you did not know, this is number 305 of the Whatnauts Captain's Log. My name is Kyle Springer, and I am joined by Melissa Wilkinson. Melissa, how are you? What's on your cinema corner this week?
Oh, we jumping right into cinema corner. I'll say another herald of the Halloween season is when Food Network starts airing Halloween Baking Championship, one of my favorite shows.
Interesting. Okay.
They have a variety of baking championship shows, but Halloween is the best one.
Do they ever make the chefs cook in like haunted locations?
Not literally. It is in a Food Network soundstage somewhere. But the fun thing about the last handful of years on Halloween Baking Championship is that each year has a theme for what the setting is supposed to be, and they get increasingly more intense with the set decoration. This year they have a completely new set. So they've had fun themes in the past, like we're in a haunted hotel, we're in a creepy summer camp, we're in a creepy circus. This year they're in a haunted mansion, and they completely redid the set so that it's a 2-story set, and there's a staircase and a loft. And during the judging of the desserts, the other contestants wait up there in the loft, and they can look down at the judging and make comments. And they're all very supportive.
Ghosts just like up there in the back.
Yeah, kind of. They're all very supportive, so they're pretty sweet comments. There's not a lot of snark on Halloween Baking Championship or any of the Baking Championship family of programs.
Sure.
But they have cool special effects. The judges wear costumes for the final judging of every episode. They get really, really specialized with these costumes. One year, the season finale a couple seasons ago, Carla Hall had like a little head growing out of her shoulder. That was her costume. And this little head was an animatronic that looked like a small her, and it's got like eyes that blink and a mouth that would gape open, and it would look around. They don't cheap out on this. Every year it looks more and more expensive. I can tell they're having so much fun.
That's awesome. That's good. Yeah. Well, happy spooky season to everyone who's just starting to celebrate, or if you've already started. It's getting to be that time. I've already seen an ad for a sale happening at Spirit Halloween. So there you go. And Michael's is out there being like, we have our spooky stuff. Let's go. Come on.
Michael's always has a great variety of spooky stuff. They've got different flavors. Do you want cute? Do you want Gothic Victorian? Do you want retro? Michael's has it all.
Since we live closer to Texas, we get the do you want the Dios de los Muertos stuff?
Yeah.
We get that stuff. So it's like bright and colorful and stuff like that, which is neat. So good stuff indeed. Melissa, what you been watching?
Mostly just The Americans, which you and I will talk about later. Recent trips to the theater have included The Long Walk. You remember I told you about when I read the Stephen King book about boys that have to walk?
Yeah, the trailer looked incredible. I'm hoping to get out to that this week.
I liked it a lot. I think it is a very good adaptation of the book. They change a few things. They smush a few characters together. The ending's a little different. But it's a great showcase for the actors. I love David Johnson, who's the robot from Alien Romulus. I'm really excited for that career. He's got such a fascinating face to watch. It's very gnarly. There's fewer boners, but there's like a lot of piss and shit and blood in it. Which gets a thumbs up from me. I like that it doesn't pull any punches. It's like, this is what was in the book. A little bit less rowdy horniness, but everything else is there. The most intense scene in the movie is just when there's a hill. And they gotta walk up the hill, and it's like, oh no, really gotta hustle up the hill. Kyle, I'm not kidding. It's thrilling.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it's supposed to be kind of rainy for me the next couple of days, but I might take the long walk up to my
Oh
movie
my
theater
God.
to go
Immersive.
see. Right? Yeah, to go see that on like Thursday or something. It's supposed to be like 75 at the most. So I'm like, ooh, that'll be nice. Good walking day. Just go check that out. But
Cool.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm glad you liked it, though. It sounds like it was worth it. It was a good adaptation.
We both saw him. That's fascinating. You don't get out to a lot of horror movies.
Yes, this was one that I was really interested in part because of its trailer. Right? Just this thing looking like an Under Armour commercial, some kind of sports commercial of like, you can be the best, give 110%, right? What's that song? 20% skill, 100% something power and wit, right? Yeah.
Remember the name. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I'm not familiar really with the director, all of that stuff, but it seemed interestingly enough. And I think with Jordan Peele kind of putting his name behind it and executive producing, whatever that means exactly. Yeah, I was just like, okay, could be interesting. I'll go check it out.
I will say Monkey Paw was the only production company listed at the beginning of the movie, and maybe it's because I see so many indie films that have to be supported by 10 different companies to get off the ground. Like, wow, I don't remember the last time I saw a movie open with just a single production title card, besides the big house of Universal.
Yeah. So that, it caught my attention for sure. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
That's kind of it's not the best thing I can say about it, but it's not like, oh,
I feel
wow,
similarly.
this was so good. Yeah.
It's got real highlights to it. I love the concept. I love the visual style of it, but you're right. There's something doesn't quite come together. Which is
it's weird because it's also, I felt like it was very tightly scripted. Like it didn't really feel like there was like B plots that led nowhere or stuff like that. They did a good job of like foreshadowing things. It felt really like, and here's the entirety of the thing. And so yeah, like I feel like it's pretty decent, and I think the best things I can say is that visually I think it looks fascinating. Take this as you will. I think for better or for worse, it looks like a music video most of the time. In some
sometimes
cases,
that's what you want.
Yeah, in some cases, I think that works really well for this, and sometimes I'm just like, all right, it feels like I'm watching a music video. I don't know if this really needed to be a full-length movie. You could have done this as like a concept music video for something. It would have been just the same.
Dark Jock Jam's concept album.
Yeah, exactly. But I think God, what's his name? Marlon Wayans. That's his name, right? I thought his performance was fantastic. I am not as familiar with their filmography, simply partly because I am pasty McPale white man, and I think a lot of the movies that him and his brother tend to make is not for me, not the intended audience.
You always reference your specific paleness as if a white guy who just goes outside more has a greater understanding of black cinema.
I got sunburned on my way to the movie theater yesterday. I was outside for half an hour. All right.
You got it, Kyle. You got to put on the SPF 35 or higher. At some point, you reach a plateau where, like, you don't really need 70 SPF, but at least cross the 35 threshold for your safety.
Yeah. But yeah, that's why I continually say I'm pasty McPale white man. But yeah, in my like very unfamiliar knowledge of their filmography, I tend to kind of write him off as a comedian. And I know comedians can do some great like dramatic roles, but this was like okay, you're cooking here. This is fantastic. I like this.
In the pantheon of comedians going dramatic, you don't get as many comedians going scary.
Yeah,
I'd like a list of those scary comedians.
He's up there with what's his name from The Office, John Krasinski, right? He's done the action stuff, and then he's also done the Quiet Place stuff, right? I know he like created that. Is he in that though?
He is. He's not. I'm talking about you have the scary performance, not that you perform in a scary situation.
I see.
We forget that Jamie Foxx used to, and I think he did have a stand-up special recently. He's scary. When he wants to be scary, he's terrifying in Baby Driver.
Sure, yeah.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I liked it just fine.
Yeah.
That was kind of it.
Happy it's out there. Happy we are smushing genres together that don't normally get to go together, like sports and horror.
Right. Yeah.
Good progress.
That was why I was
Good
like,
hustle.
I kind of want to go see this, right?
Right.
Just see,
there's only one of these.
We don't have these. So
did you see all the hubbub about the Taylor Swift album release party that's going to be in theaters?
No.
I got a ticket to that, and it's like 90 minutes, and I think it's just the music video for the single and some behind-the-scenes footage. But I wanted to go because that's not typically the sort of thing that goes into theaters. And I'm like, as a novel theatrical package, I must witness this.
Is
Anytime
it like
they put a new thing in
well?
I don't know. It's a new. It hasn't come out yet. I don't know if she has done it in concert yet. I'm gonna go see.
I mean,
but if you put a new thing in a theater,
single or something out there that she's done for a show.
I don't know her life. I know she's getting married. I have heard of this.
Yeah.
I don't know what else she's up to.
You did not need to know anything about Taylor Swift to watch the movie Him, but
I guess it doesn't hurt. Right, football knowledge is football knowledge.
That is also something that I liked about this. You don't need any football knowledge to watch this, or sports knowledge, period, to go in to watch Him. It's not that kind of sports movie or anything like that. So go check it out. Why not?
The rousing endorsement.
There you go. Why not?
Speaking of interesting genres, yesterday I watched Robert Altman's The Player. Do you know this?
I don't think so.
Do you know Robert Altman?
I don't think so either.
He did Nashville. I yelled at you about Nashville earlier this year. Nashville, MASH, The Long Goodbye. I can name titles at you. I don't know if that's helpful.
I'm looking it up, looking the images up of some of the stuff.
Images of what?
The Player.
His movie images?
Yeah, the movie posters, the screenshots when you search Robert Altman, the Player. That's what I usually do when I Google search stuff on this show. That's not new.
I didn't know if you were just looking at pictures of him, Robert Altman. Like, no, none of these titles
Robert
sound
Altman,
familiar, I say, as I look
emoji,
at the man's face. Just drop a bunch of pictures of Robert Altman out of your locker. I don't know him. I don't like him. We don't even have a class together. He is known for big, massive ensemble movies. Big, shaggy things. Lots of people talking over each other. Lots of parallel plot lines.
Okay.
And The Player is a movie from 1992 set in Hollywood. And I knew it was a Hollywood satire, and so I went in imagining it was more of a comedy than it was.
Mm-hmm.
It is, in fact, a crime thriller. It's fairly dramatic. It's about Tim Robbins, a man so tall that every time he walks on screen, it feels like reality has broken.
Okay.
Like there's a glitch somewhere. He shouldn't be allowed to be that tall. Tim Robbins plays a struggling studio exec, a man who said no to too many projects and now really needs a success under his belt, and some jilted writer whose project he didn't accept keeps sending him anonymous threatening postcards.
Okay.
And Tim Robbins goes after the writer who he thinks it is, which is a startlingly young Vincent D'Onofrio. And he accidentally kills Vincent D'Onofrio. And then the postcards don't stop. So now he still has to figure out who's after him, and he has to hide this murder.
Okay. Interesting.
It's more of a noir story than I thought it was. I thought you would like it for that reason.
Okay. Yeah. So I've read the Long Goodbye book, and if he's done that, then this sounds like he has some noir chops.
He does
to do all of that. So yeah, I'll keep an eye out. There you go. Is that how old was Vincent D'Onofrio in that?
Younger than he was in Men in Black? I don't know.
Oh, I don't even remember him from Men in Black. I haven't seen that in so long. I watched the Homicide: Life on the Streets, and there's an episode with Vincent D'Onofrio in that. It was a fantastic episode. But he played. It's the youngest I've ever seen him in that. But he plays a character who gets pushed onto a subway track right as a train is coming.
You told me about this.
He's wedged in between the train and the thing, and he's just stuck there. And it's like they spend the whole episode like trying to figure out, can we get him out? I don't think so. I think if we do anything to him, he'll die. But he's also kind of a witness to his own murder. So we need to keep him alive for as long as possible so that we can solve the murder and catch that guy. And so he's just sitting there like almost like the head in Aliens, right? Where he's just sitting there just talking with the cops about like his life and all of that stuff. It's fascinating. But he was so young that I did not recognize him at first. It's like, whoa, that's Vincent D'Onofrio. Okay, interesting.
Right, you know him as such a meaty presence, or as the Cockroach Man from Men in Black.
Sure. Yes. Okay. Now I remember. Yeah. Okay.
I can't believe you've forgotten one of the top 10 character actor performances in cinema history.
In forever. I remember
Let's
that scene.
watch
I just don't remember what it was.
Next year, put it on the calendar. We'll do some Men in Black.
Okay. Good stuff there. Let's see what else is on our list of things here. Melissa, your movie fantasy league is back. It's about that time of year again.
It is. I have to have my draft in by Thursday.
Nice. Do you have a strategy that you're going with? Or are you just kind of eyeballing it?
No, I've learned not to eyeball anymore. I'm really trying to do the math. I'm mathing harder than I have since I was in school. I've learned
statistics and everything.
You got to trawl the bargain bin for documentaries and international films. International films is where the points are, because there can be among domestic films, there can be a lot of fighting and jostling for the limited spaces in Best Picture, etc. Best International Feature, that can be a little more consistent. Like, the international players will announce themselves, and there will be less variation in those lineups, and you can nail in on what the big ones are going to be, and those will keep showing up through the whole race. International pictures have saved me in the past, so I'm going hard on those.
Okay.
Box office, I don't know. Unless you have a real heavy hitter, box office might not be worth prioritizing, because the way this works, if you've forgotten since last year, or if we have a single listener, You get points for how
I played it last year, and it just haphazardly made my list and was like, all right, I'll see what happens at the end, and I never checked it.
Well, you're welcome to play again. You had Wicked last year, so you didn't do terrible.
Yeah.
You get points for box office performance if the movie you draft releases in the gameplay window. So from last week of September through the end of this year. And you get points for awards performance. Awards of any scale from the Oscars all the way on down to like some little critic circle. So awards are most of what the game is, but box office can supplement your gameplay strategy. I think I'm going to take one battle after another. Especially with that being an IMAX heavy film. I think that will boost its box office if so many people are going to see it in premium formats. And that's $30. I'm going to draft two $30 films. So one traditional American blockbuster and one international picture that I think has a good award spread to it.
Okay. Sounds good.
You still haven't seen Weapons, correct?
No, I have not.
I'd really advise you to get on that, please.
I think it's priority on streaming. I can rent it or whatever.
Okay.
But
priority 1, invest in a good sunblock. Priority 2, go watch Weapons. That's $3. And I think even if that is not a traditional awards player, it made such a big splash and has one performance in it that has been so lauded, I think it might be worth the $3.
Cool.
I'm trying to squeeze as much value as I can out of every dollar and not just being like, how about this?
Yeah.
Vibes seem good. So that's where I'm at. My team name, if it is not already taken when I submit my draft, what the big international movie I'm going for is called Sentimental Value. It stars Stellan Skarsgård. There's a lot of buzz for him as a best supporting actor. Okay. And my theme each year has been to pick an actor I'm rooting for and come up with some dumb pun around their name. Like the first year I did it, I was Paul Giamatti.
Right.
This year I'm naming my team Interstellan 5555.
Sure. Yeah.
That's what I've been doing with my life. Outside of work, it's mostly this.
Cool. Good stuff.
Thank you for allowing me my time.
Yeah. Do we want to go to pop culture lightning round before we do housekeeping, or should we go to like horse stickers and grandma names as you have written down here?
I don't know. Where does your heart lead you?
I'm kind of interested in grandma names and horse stickers here.
I told you that last weekend I went on a home tour.
Yes.
St. Louis Homes Magazine does these tours every couple months where they work with homeowners of beautifully designed and decorated homes to build a little tour. You buy a ticket and you just get to go from house to house, just looking at them, just wandering around, talking to the homeowner, talking to the designer. And since these are real homes that people live in, every once in a while it'll be a home that is in the process of being sold, so it's in stage mode and there's not really any personal affects there. Mm-hmm. But mostly it is live, active homes, not houses waiting to become homes. So they have personal details in them. And I noticed in the first house I went to, in the woman's dressing room, a beautiful dressing room, Kyle. I dream of having a whole room in which to dress. She's got a little sign that says something like, "My favorite people call me Mimi," which is a popular grandma nickname nowadays. Maybe
sure.
for centuries. I don't know how long grandmas have been Mimis. I don't know when grandmas decided. I know when grandmas decided grandma is old school. Call me something new. Second home I go to, there's a photo on the wall of a little baby, and the little baby's holding up a sign that it didn't write because it's a baby, but clearly its parent wrote for it. And the sign says, "Happy birthday, Mimi." And I'm like, how funny. 2 Mimi grandmas. And then I go to the third house, and I'm talking to that homeowner about this observation I made in the first 2 houses.
Okay.
And she's like, how funny. I don't have grandkids, but if I did, I would want to be called a Mimi too.
Interesting.
So I don't know if this is purely among the upper class women who own these kinds of homes that get put on these tours, or if this is a larger cultural shift in general.
St.
Grandma's
Louis
out.
just has an
High
unnormal
Mimi
spike
levels.
in Mimi per capita. Yeah.
Are your grandmas just grandmas?
Both or all of my grandparents have passed away, but I always just called them grandma, grandpa.
Exactly.
That was it. They didn't have like a nickname.
We weren't that creative. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I've because that's strange. Like I've always heard like Mima or something like that, which sounds
You're
more
also
Southern, right?
Yes,
that sounds like a
you
Southern
are from
thing.
Virginia. We get nanas, we get nonas.
Yeah, heard that too. I haven't heard Mimi specifically. I don't think it's that far off, right, from a Mima, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there's a few like standard grandma nicknames, and that's it. There's like 5 of them, and you get to pick which one
from the menu. Yeah, and sometimes there is somebody who gets real wild and wants to order off menu. I was reading the professional bio of somebody at work, and they remarked that her and her husband were Lolly and Pops to their grandkids,
okay.
which I think is very cute. If a grandpa is Pop, why not make grandma Lolly? And then they're a cute little matched pair. I have a cousin who became a grandma at quite a young age. And she's like, I am way too young to become a grandma. I'm not ready to be called grandma. She's like, I want my grandson to call me something completely different. And her name's Amy. And she's like, I want him to call me Jane. Just something that is not grandma and is not my name either. A whole third identity for this new phase of my life. Don't make me be grandma yet.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I laughed earlier when you kind of hinted at that of like, I don't want to be called, Mimi anymore. I want to be called, and then some like new age radical punk nickname, right?
I want to be called Chop Saw.
Right, yeah. I'm Taserface.
We gotta start naming our grandparents like they're monster trucks.
No, because then it's like grave digger and other things like that.
Bigfoot.
You can't call your grandma grave digger. No. No.
I mean, if you're digging the grave, you're not in the grave. I think it's positive. I gotta go spend my parents have to go out of town for work. I gotta go spend the weekend at Bigfoot's house. Bigfoot always lets me eat ice cream, though.
Where are you off to? I'm off to the Yetis. Just name them after cryptids.
Oh,
Mothman
I love
is Grandpa.
this. Oh, Grandpa Mothman. Grandma Nessie, Grandpa Mothman.
Incredible.
God, what was your B-boy name? Did you have one?
I didn't have one because I was never good enough to like.
If you had one, imagine if that was your grandpa name.
Right? Yeah. You could just call me B-Boy. That's it.
I love a grandpa nickname having boy in it.
Right,
You've got to remember grandpas were once boys, whether they beed or not.
To be or not to be. Yeah, no, because for boy stuff, usually that nickname, I mean, all nicknames should be given to you, right? You can't make up your own. But I was never good enough to really like compete or battle or do stuff like that. I was never that good by far.
Okay.
So never put myself out there like that. But I don't know. Grandma names would be a good nickname for Ethel. I don't know. It just whatever. Horse stickers.
Yes.
Is
Yesterday,
this also at the houses?
No, this is different. I do a lot of things. Yesterday, I went to a charity cornhole tournament.
Okay. I played some cornhole when I was back in Virginia.
I don't corn the hole myself, but I recognize it as an important part of Midwestern culture. And I like knew somebody associated with the charity, and I was just going to like say hi and, throw in a mild donation, put some raffle tickets in a basket, try and win a gift card to the symphony orchestra, get me some tickets to see them do John Williams or whatever. One of the activities, it's not just cornhole. They had 2 bouncy castles, face painting, airbrush tattoos. There was a drag race car that dragged for, I think, exactly 60 feet just to show you what was there, cool. Which is plenty for me. I'll take it. And they had a mini horse.
Okay, yeah.
Horse, but small.
Right. The only mini horse I know of and have seen is the one from Robin Big. That show back in the day. They got him a mini horse one day, and he woke up and there was just a mini horse in his house.
I like that. The horse you can have inside. This horse's name is Uno, and you could put stickers on Uno.
Okay.
That was part of your interaction with Uno. They had pet safe like fur crayons that they're like, it just brushes right out.
Interesting.
Yes. There were kids that were writing their names on this little horse. Somebody drew a pride flag on the horse.
Good. Yeah.
And they've got the stickers, and they're putting their names with the stickers on the horse, or putting the name of the charity event. And I'm like, I guess, yeah, it doesn't hurt a horse to put a sticker on it. I mean, it sticks enough. And then at the end of the day, yeah. I think you can gently peel it off. No harm to the horse.
Sure. Or like wash it off, right? They might.
Yeah. It makes it interactive for the kids, I guess. I'd never considered it before that you could put stickers on a horse. I feel like my brain was really broken open.
Like, this is not how you corn a hole. This is not how you sticker a horse.
It's funny to treat one of God's creatures like it's a trapper keeper, but I guess it wasn't hurting Uno any. Uno seemed very chill.
That's an interesting thing to do, especially if like it's because I guess it was not like a petting zoo kind of thing. They only had this one mini horse,
just
right?
One.
Yeah. So like if it was a petting zoo kind of thing, you would think like, oh, well, you could feed it, you could pet it. That's kind of it, right? But I guess, yeah, this made it, I guess, that much more interactive. Whereas, like, oh, if someone is up, like, petting its face or something, you could be on its side, like, putting a sticker writing "Kilroy was here," right on the
in a soft, gentle crayon.
Rights. Yeah.
Because, like, you can only give a petting zoo animal so much snack before they've had their fill.
Right. Yeah.
You know, this is another thing you can do with it besides being like, pat, soft pony. You can put a sticker on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I guess they got to pick out like their own. I don't know if you can bring your band sticker and put that on the horse. I guess you have to use their stickers they have tested and know to be exactly as adhesive to stick, but not damagingly adhesive.
Andre the Giant has a posse. There you go. Supreme.
There are people who will decorate their horses when they take their horses to dressage shows. Have you seen that where the horses are like in a whole costume?
I haven't seen that, but I've seen, just walking around in Richmond, there were people that had dogs they've like dyed their hair and stuff like that. There was like a pink poodle that would walk around.
Costumes for the horses, not for the women. Costume for horse.
No, I don't want sexy horse costume for women.
They're just showing me women that look like the Hunter hot dog package and just normal equestrian wear. Like, no, the costume you put the horse in.
What is this?
Horse in costume.
Anime
costume for horse.
Video
All right,
game.
here we go. This is a horse dressed like a beer. This is a horse dressed like Fred Flintstone. This is what I wanted.
Have you heard of this? I know you're not big on video games, but have you heard of this video game called Umamusume Pretty Derby? With like anime horse girls? No. So recently there's this video game that popped up, and it's about these like anime horse girls. They are regular girls with like horse like hair. I guess they have horse ears, but I don't know if that's like a little like headband thing or not. But they are like, the game is basically you taking care of these girls and racing them. They like do horse races, but it's the anime girls instead. And apparently all of these girls are like named after and their personalities are mimicking like actual Japanese race horses.
How old is this game?
I think it came out this year. Let me see if Steam has.
Okay. This sounded vaguely familiar to me, but this reminds me of something I read about like 10 years ago. So I don't know what other thing I'm thinking about. Yeah,
release date was June 24th. But it looks like a stereotypical kind of anime anime girl game that like. But it's like, I'm looking at a clip on the Steam page, and it was like horse girl with like ropes on her dragging a giant like tire behind her, but the tire is like the size of the room that I'm in. So you have to like strength train them and do all of that stuff so that they can win the races. But when they win the races, they also sing a song. They're like idols. It's so strange, but like a couple months ago, everyone was obsessed with this game.
I like the rule that for any sport that if you win, you have to do a song.
Right. Yeah. Now you have to compete in Eurovision.
It's just successive competitions. Once you ace one sport, you are forced to join the next sport. Once you win Eurovision, you must be in the Olympics.
Right, yeah. Indeed. Well, I guess real quick before we go to our break, what is this weird names for park pavilions? I obviously had the one Wolf Trap near me. Do you have a weirdly named park pavilion near you?
Yes, and I realized I don't think I've ever told you about this, and I don't know how I've never brought it up. So there's a park near me. There's Creve-Coeur Lake, a beautiful lake, beautiful woods, and it's got your standard little brown park pavilion in it with just poles and a roof and a picnic table and a charcoal grill.
Yeah.
And these things must have names. They're normally named after somebody you've never heard of, who's probably dead. And that was like a city comptroller in 1982
Pavilion,
or something.
Mimi Pavilion.
You know, it's like the the Greensboro Pavilion, Greensboro South, Greensboro North, Smith, whatever. There's one in this park that is named, and I promise you, it is a normal sign. It is the normal white text on brown sign. It has no brand logo on it, nothing to indicate it as special, except it is called Taco Bell Pavilion.
Yes.
Yes.
Live
and I
moss.
Googled this.
Touch
I Googled
grass,
this.
live moss. Yeah.
I Googled this to see if anybody has written an article about why is this Taco Bell Pavilion?
Yeah.
And it's not pavilion sponsored by Taco Bell because there's no signage there. It just says Taco Bell like it would say any other name. Smith, Jones, Brown, whatever. Taco Bell. And I Googled it and I just found like normal rental pages from like the parks department and one post on r/living moss that's like, hey, check it out, the Taco Bell Pavilion, with no further investigation. So I didn't go to page 2 of Google. Maybe I need to. I want an oral history on why this is the Taco Bell Pavilion.
You could probably call the like Parks and Rec service near you and be like, hey, what's the deal with this? Why is this called Taco Bell Pavilion?
For as long as I can remember. So and surely it can't go. I don't know how far back in history it goes. I don't know when this was named Taco Bell Pavilion. I don't know if it was in the 90s when the Chihuahua was hot.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Yo quiero Pavilion.
Like, right.
Yo quiero place to host my son's graduation party.
Are there the ruins of a Taco Bell underneath this pavilion?
No, there's no ruins in this park. If there were, they would still be there.
I don't know. Maybe they got covered up.
Wouldn't you love to go to a park that had ruins in it? The ruins are a draw. You don't get rid of the ruins. If anything, you try and make some.
Maybe Taco Bell has been around a lot longer than we all think it has. That's why its slogan is Live Moss. It's been living more than we know. And it's so old that it like it's not that like we buried them on purpose, but it's just so old that it's like sunk below and like things have grown on top that it's just been forgotten.
Ring, ring, ring. Hello? Yes, I'll tell him. Kyle, History Channel's Ancient Aliens called. They want you.
Yes. Exactly. How great would that be, though?
Taco Bell conspiracy theory.
Now I want to know what that History Channel thing would look like 1,000 years in the future. The histories of Taco Bell, right? When Taco Bell is long gone.
So the only mostly you get, is that beef really beef when you Google Taco Bell conspiracy theory? And right, I know there's something about some Taco Bells had paintings that got stolen and have gone for huge amounts on the black market. Selena Gomez's Taco Bell engagement conspiracy theory. This might be a longer rabbit hole than I thought. Maybe next time I'll come back with Taco Bell conspiracy theories, the deep dive.
Taco Bell conspiracies.
Top 5.
Indeed. That's so
Taco
funny.
Bell meat sand. Taco Bell wood pulp.
Gross. I don't know if I've ever like encountered weird little pavilion names like that. At least not one that sticks with me.
Right. It's rare. It's truly rare. Which is why I'm baffled that there aren't more people constantly talking about the mystery of Taco Bell Shelter.
Yeah.
And it's called Shelter. Weird. It isn't called Pavilion. It's Taco Bell Shelter.
Maybe
they're here to protect you.
In case of a nuclear holocaust, all of the Taco Bell execs can come to this Taco Bell shelter and survive the nuclear winter, right? Yeah.
The government officials go to beneath the Denver International Airport, and all of the Taco Bell execs go underneath one park pavilion in suburban St. Louis.
Exactly.
We have all the water we need. We'll drink Creve Coeur Lake.
They have the mix to turn the lake into Baja Blast.
You can carbonate a lake. We've kept this knowledge secret from the public.
With our soda streams combined,
we tested it. You can carbonate a lake.
Anyways, let's take a break for housekeeping. We will be right back. And when we come back, we got our F1 corner and our little pop culture lightning round. So stick around. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for checking out this podcast. We hope you're enjoying it. If you didn't know, we make multiple different shows here at the Whatnauts, and a lot of hard work goes into making them, so we would love it if you check them all out. But none of this is possible without your support. Head over to patreon.com/thewhatnauts, and you can get access to over 40 hours of exclusive content, including our Patreon first podcast, The Pilots Club, when you sign up at our $3 tier. Of course, there is a free version of the Pilots Club available, but episodes are exclusive to our Patreon for 2 years before they hit the free feeds. If you're interested in buying merch, we have shirts, hoodies, mugs, and more for sale over at thewhatnauts.com/store. Another great way to help us out is by subscribing and leaving a nice rating and review on your podcasting app of choice. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel for video versions of the show, trailer reactions, and live streams. And lastly, you can always find out more information about the shows we make on our website, thewhatnauts.com. All right, we are back. Once again, a big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters.
Thank you
so much. We appreciate it. We love you a lot. Over on the Pilots Club, we released our episode on numbers, which is one of the shows we watched for our Year of the Detective. That's still been ongoing. And coming up this next month for October, we're going to watch the pilot of The Medium. A show
Medium.
I'm not actually familiar with. No definitive, just Medium. Okay, good to know. But a show I don't remember. I don't know if I had heard of this one. So
it's Patricia Arquette, and she's a medium.
Right? Yeah. So I'm excited to check that one out for October. So be on the lookout for that. Over on the free version of the Pilots Club, we released our episode on Winning Time, the Rise of the Lakers Dynasty. And up next for October, The Amazing Screw-On Head is the one we will be releasing for our free version. Have you got a chance to look? Because I got you the hardback comic of that one.
I'll hold it up.
Yeah. Curious to know if you've gotten to flip through it.
I unwrapped it. It is a beautiful book, and it was a very thoughtful gift. I love that I own no Hellboy, but I do own The Amazing Screw-On Head. I'm not into the band's major stuff. I'm into this one obscure EP they did.
Side project under a different name. Yeah.
It looks beautiful. I perhaps I will read it in full for Halloween.
Yeah, I saw it at my shop, and since you were the one that introduced me to The Amazing Screw-On Head, I was like, oh, I think Melissa would love this. So there you go. But yeah, we will be releasing our episode on The Amazing Screw-On Head, the animated show that only got its pilot, right? I don't think they did any more than that, if I remember correctly. So yeah, good stuff over there. Let's see, right here on the Captain's Log, previously we did our fantasy draft of director-actor combos. Ones that have worked together multiple times. And we had a blast with that. Jacqueline got to join us on the show. It was a lot of fun. Go check it out. That was good. We hadn't done a fantasy draft in a while, so it was good fun over there. Last but not least, over on the review show, we've started putting out our coverage of The Americans. We have decided for most of the rest of the year over on the review show to cover The Americans in its entirety, all 6 seasons of that. For this first episode, we decided to double up and do seasons 1 and 2, so that we could have room to do a special Halloween episode on something else, and then save something special for the end of the year. But yeah, The Americans, we're starting to watch that. We've been talking about covering that show for so long over on the review show, and we finally was like, let's just do it. Let's cover it. And it worked out perfectly. So go check that out. I am midway through season 3 right now. I'm watching an episode every day with Howard doing that right now. So go check it out. Let's see, other housekeeping stuff that I want to mention. I finally have all of Crossplay up on our Patreon. I need to fix one thing. I accidentally put it as like our most recent episode, even though it came out in 2022. So I need to fix that. But it was just something I didn't need to put the work into all of it. It's it's already out there on all of the podcasting platforms. It's one of our older it's one of our older, now defunct shows, but I thought, you know what? Why not just put this all up on our Patreon as well, so you guys can go get the RSS feed for that on there in case you're interested. Might be an interesting time capsule. It's always interesting to me, like putting the episodes up and seeing like, okay, what's happening in video game news now, and what were we talking about like 3 years ago at the same time, and being like, oh, it's kind of the same stuff, but like the stuff that was new then is like finally coming out.
Yeah,
good stuff with all of that. I think that's about it for housekeeping for right now. So let's get back to things. We have some breaking news. Melissa, you're a winner.
Oh, I won. Yes. I offhandedly mentioned throwing a raffle ticket into a basket at this charity event I went to with the little horse. I just got the text that I won.
Yeah, so you're off to go see some kind of symphony at some point. Something like that. That's fun.
I did, in fact, go to the symphony this past week. They performed live in Forest Park. They performed outdoors.
That's cool.
At Art Hill. Remember, you're at the art museum and you look. There's the big statue of the horse, and there's the hill and the lake. They're down there.
That's fun.
They performed the Star Wars theme outside under the stars. I'd never heard it performed live before. And to hear it under actual stars, very powerful.
Right? You're laying down, looking up at the stars. That's fun.
It was a very nice evening. My allergies killed me for it because they do fireworks. So I'm like sitting out on a grassy field, and then there's all these fireworks and there's all this smoke. And I parked elsewhere in Forest Park and took the shuttle. And I arrived at the time when like parking lot empty, shuttle empty. I'm one of only 5 people. And then I realized when I'm trying to take the shuttle back to my car, I cannot morally allow myself to get on the shuttle before an elderly couple or a family with young children. And that's most of who goes to free outdoor public events in this city. So I had to let like 6 shuttles go by before I'm like, okay, I can get on this one now.
In the Imperial March and being like, no, get out of my way.
No, I'm like, I will be polite. We live by Titanic rules. Elders and children first. I'm a woman, sure, but I'm a young, able-bodied woman. I'll wait here the extra 25 minutes for an additional shuttle.
Just keep playing while
keep playing.
You're waiting for, Good stuff. I'm glad you got to go to that. Melissa, the Emmys was this past
TV
week.
time.
I did not realize that they were even happening. I didn't necessarily keep up with it. So the night it was happening, I was like, oh, it's happening now. I see Tremel Tillman up there giving his speech. This is awesome.
Great speech, great suit.
Yeah, so let's get on to our pop culture lightning round here. I'll dive right in with the Emmys. Since I already mentioned those, I just pulled out a few of the ones that either it's stuff we've talked about on this show or the review show or the reactor core or something like that. Best lead actress in a limited series, Krista Milioti for The Penguin.
She had a very enthusiastic, sweet speach. Good for her.
She absolutely deserved that one. That show was fantastic, and she was incredible in that show. Best writing in a limited series goes to Dan Gilroy for Andor, which should have gotten a whole lot more other things, but hey, we got one, right? Best writing. So congratulations to Andor for that. Best director best directing for a drama series goes to Adam Randall for Slow Horses. Which must have been the previous season because the new one starts coming out September 24th, the day that this goes live for most people.
Oh, yeah. Dang.
Yeah. So good stuff there. And then best lead actress in a drama goes to Britt Lauer in Severance. Congratulations to her as well. And then, of course, best supporting actor in a drama, Tremel Tillman in Severance.
Wonderful.
That was the one I was like, yeah!
What a great year. Yes. I'm happy we're all in agreement.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I have not seen The Pit. I'm not interested in like medical dramas, but that one, everyone really seemed to love that one. Have yet to see Adolescence on Netflix, but I know that also won a bunch of them. So
I'm watching the Emmy Awards with my parents, and they don't know any of these. Okay. I keep telling them they need to watch Slow Horses. They haven't.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to make them. My dad's going to come home one day, and I'm like, I put Apple TV Plus on your TV. I made a login. I paid for it. It's on Slow Horses Season 1, Episode 1. Click play.
Just go hit play, yeah.
Just watch Gary Oldman fart around town, Dad. I promise you will love this.
Yeah.
They don't know any of these. And my mom's watching the nominees scroll by. And she's like, The White Lotus. I feel like I've heard of that. And she Googles it. And she's sitting next to me, silently reading like the plot description of The White Lotus, the series, and I just see her frowning, and then she dismissively mutters, impulses? She's like, I don't think I'd like this show.
I don't think your mom would.
She does not like impulses, whatever that the connotation is there.
Though I have to say, I don't think your mom would also like Slow Horses. Your dad, that's a good like dad show with the spy craft and just the crudeness of Jackson Lamb as a character.
Mom would like enough of it. She'd be in the room while Slow Horses was on, which is the most she ever engages with something.
Sure, yeah. I'm actually in the midst of the second Slow Horses book. I started it like 2 days ago, and man, even the book just makes me crack up when Jackson Lamb is on the page, just like farting and just making all kinds of crude noises and gestures. He's just so funny. It's great. So good stuff there. Slow Horses. Congratulations to all the shows and actors and directors and all that stuff that won the Emmys.
While we're talking about TV, tell me about the other TV shows in your cinema corner. How was
that's right.
Say Nothing?
I skipped over these, completely forgot. Say Nothing. Have you heard of this show?
Yes,
Have you seen
this
the trailer?
is about The log line has been given to me on podcasts.
Sure.
Would you remind me, please?
So I did the double whammy here. I read this book.
Okay.
I found out about it through the book. I saw someone post about it on social media, and it seemed interesting enough. So I checked out, like, what is this about? And I was like, okay, I'll put that on my Libby app and I'll check it out. One of the best books I've read so far this year. Fantastic. It is nonfiction. It's real history. And it's about like Northern Ireland and the IRA and a period of time known as the Troubles, happening from maybe the late 60s to it's arguably still kind of some things happening now, or at least ramifications of some of that stuff is still happening now, but at the least, like, into the 90s and stuff like that. And yeah, incredible book. It reads like a novel, which is really interesting. That made it really fun to read. And it centers around the disappearance of this one woman who was a widow and a mother of 10 children. And when she got abducted and disappeared, I think her oldest was like 14, 15.
Oof.
Like the kids did not know what happened to her until like early 2000s. She disappeared in like 72. And it's not that she like disappeared and just like didn't come home one night. She was abducted from the home with the kids watching all of this, and no one knows, or no one would say anything about what happened to her. And eventually they did find her remains, and they were able to identify her because she had like a blue safety pin attached underneath her lapel on her jacket that she always kept for the kids in case like their clothes were falling apart, or they just like need something to like fix it up real fast. And yeah, they found some bones with some clothes, and underneath that was the safety pin.
You never want your mom to become bones.
Right, yeah.
That's so sad.
But yeah, it like checks in on that story throughout the book, but is kind of this big history of the IRA, and what they did, what they're fighting for, maybe where they went wrong, maybe where they got a little too extreme, right? Like all of that stuff, despite fighting for something that is arguably very noble, right? So yeah, just a fascinating book. I highly recommend it. And the audiobook, oh no, it's not read by this same guy. I was going to say it was read by the author, but I don't think it was. But then, yes, there is a show on FX, so you can watch it on Hulu or Disney Plus.
Fearless.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's rank all FX shows on a scale of fearlessness.
Right. Yeah.
Most fearless to most fearful.
And yeah, it's like a 9 or like an 8 episode show that is a dramatization of this. The show tends to focus more on the Price sisters, Dolores and Marion, who were a part of the provisional IRA. Dolores was one of the people who orchestrated and enacted the London bombings in the 70s. Stuff like that. They went on a big hunger strike when they were in jail. That they were two of the people that like as a result of them struggling with being force fed, like the doctors eventually were like, this is torture, like we need to stop this, like this is not good. So yeah, just like really, really interesting history, and all about like war and murder and people disappearing, and it's just brutal stuff. But fantastic. If you just want a real interesting, quick mini series on some actual history, good stuff there. So
Okay.
yeah. And then I watched season 2 of The Last of Us. I'm not going to say much on that. It did make me cry. They do something with a song that is playing. That is just really emotional. I don't think you're ever gonna watch the show, right? Okay,
I don't think I ever will.
I'll
maybe one day.
Here.
One day, if I am truly starved for more Anna Torv, maybe I'll turn it on.
Yeah. So in both the video game and in season 2 of the show, there's something that happens that is a major, like, whoa, wasn't expecting that, where Joel, one of the main characters, gets killed, like, early on. And that's kind of the impetus for the story that's happening in the second game and the second season here. And like when that happens in the show and they are transporting Joel's body back to their big encampment from where they are. And to be clear, Joel was murdered by another person, not like eaten by a zombie or stuff like that. And murdered as a result of something he did in the first game. They went and got their revenge on him, and they kill him right in front of Ellie, who's the younger girl that he's with in season 1. So it's brutal stuff. But as they are transporting his body back to their encampment in like Jackson Hole, Wyoming, there's a song that plays. And the song that's playing is sung by the voice actress who played Ellie in the game.
That's sweet.
Yeah, and it's just this like if you know that's her voice, it's just this extra like, oh, my heart, like, no, this is so sad. So yeah, that made me cry, but it's really good. It's a fantastic show, so definitely recommend it. That's it. That's all I've been watching. That was part 2 of my cinema corner. Yeah, back to pop culture lightning round. The Game Awards. I'll start there since we were just talking about The Last of Us. These are happening on December 11th. Melissa, this is the one that we've talked about that I was like, I kind of want you to watch this. December 11th. This is a big award show for the video games. I don't think it's the Oscars of the video games, but a lot of people like to say it is. I don't necessarily agree with that.
Thursday.
But it's a big flashy one. I don't remember if it happens this past year or not, but they tend to get like Muppets that join the show for a bit. In there's some celebrities. One year we had Keanu Reeves. One year we had Al Pacino. This past year we had Harrison Ford. 'Cause there was an Indiana Jones game that came out. Stuff like that. There's like musical performances, a big orchestra playing some of the music from this year's video games. And I know you've expressed a little bit of interest, or at least being like, I kind of just want to know what happens in
I love
this
awards shows.
Exactly.
This is why I was watching the Emmy race as it developed. I just love awards. I hope one day to win one of any kind. So I'll tune into the Game Awards. I will have no context.
Sure.
You'll have to tell me where and how it can be viewed. I'll print a ballot. I'll still make my guesses.
You can watch it on YouTube.
I love a printable ballot. Thank you.
Yeah. Actually, I think when voting becomes available, which should be soon, I think, you can vote on Google or on their website. Why
am I allowed to vote? Is it a popular vote?
it's weighted, so there is part popular, but then there also is like judges that do like stuff, and like their votes count for this much and our votes count for that much, and you total it up.
Weird.
I think that's how it works.
None of the other major film and TV award shows do it like that. They're like, fans, maybe you get one award where you can vote for the Flash entering the Speed Force.
Which is
and then that happened, and they're like, fans don't get to vote anymore.
That's also partly why, like, this isn't the Oscars. Like, there are other video game award shows that are more like, okay, these are voted on by the people that make games and other studios and like stuff like that. It's not something that I get to vote on. But yeah, this is it's weird because it's an award show, but it's also used as a marketing platform. So there will be announcements of new games. There will be trailers for new games, like big exciting announcements and stuff like that. So it's very different, but should be fun.
Cool.
So yeah, that is happening on December 11th. And then in movies, Man of Tomorrow is the title of the next Superman movie, and it will be releasing in theaters July 9th, 2027. James Gunn announced this on social media, along with some artwork of Superman and Lex in one of his like big battle suits here to make him stronger. And it seems like this is gonna be a team up movie between them.
I like it. I love Lex.
Yeah. Who knows? We'll see. That is July 9th, 2027. And then last but not least, over on the Marvel side of things, Marvel Zombies is out this Wednesday, September 24th. I think like 4 episodes.
Remember Marvel Zombies?
Right, yeah.
Long time coming.
Coming out on the 24th here. So we'll see. We'll see how that one goes. Was the Wakanda one kind of came and went. And I have a feeling the Marvel Zombies one will too, especially since it's 4 episodes again. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But that's it for our pop culture lightning round. Let's do a brief Formula One corner here. Melissa, you have seen the entirety of the race that happened this morning. I have not yet. I stopped about halfway through. But I know the results of that, so
you saw the important part, which is cool, calm cucumber Oscar just hitting the wall like before lap 1 is even over, which is so unlike him, is so baffling
for McLaren.
I know.
You don't really watch qualifying, do you?
Sometimes I'll watch the qualifying highlights. I do always know what it is before I start the race.
Okay. So qualifying for this race, 6 red flags, which I think is a record in Formula One. So many people crashed that they had to like, red flag, let's stop everything, get the car out, because the race for this weekend is the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. It's a street circuit, and it is
pretty tight.
Very small, very tight, and there is one sequence which goes by a castle that is the tightest sequence in Formula One. And my only experience, of course, is playing the F1 video games. I hate that turn. It is so tight. I can't do it. It's so bad. So it's incredible that they can like make it through all of that. But yeah, 6 red flags in qualifying, including Oscar. He crashed in qualifying, which is why I think he started in like 9th or something like that. Even Lando was back there. But man, we had Max Verstappen on pole position, then Carlos Sainz in P2. Hell yeah,
radical.
And then Liam Lawson in P3. Another hell yeah. Incredible stuff.
The funny, and I'm quite new to Formula One. It's funny that the sport is just regular enough that you know what like baseline status quo is, but they have thrown the status quo out the window also so many times. It's 50% normal and 50% backwards day.
Yeah. So I mean, you came in at kind of a weird time. Because not only are there a bunch of new rookies this year who are like figuring things out, right? But,
and this was a good figuring it out race. It was nice to see some of the rookies do quite well.
Yeah. But then also next year, they're changing a bunch of the regulations and the engines. And so all of the teams have kind of decided to like, we're not going to put most of our money into developing this year's car. The car we have is kind of the car we had last year, and that's it. So all of that money is then going into developing for next year in 2026. But even then, with all the like the new regulations and designs, all the teams are kind of starting from square one next year. So it could you could see something wild and be like Haas is up there in like they found something and we don't know what they found, but they found it, and who knows, right? Like no, everyone else will be like studying their car, like how did they get it right? But like that might not happen also just because of the amounts of money that the different teams have and stuff like that. But just between this year of like Red Bull is not as dominant as they once were, but McLaren is, but also like so many other people are winning in the midst of that. But also next year is going to be kind of this weird thing. Like you entered in this really strange time, which makes it fun to be like, Liam Lawson in P3, let's go.
I know.
Yeah. So great stuff with that. And Oscar Piastri at the start of this race jumped the gun. He went before he was supposed to, and then immediately stalled out and was just like, shit. And that put him back in last place because everyone went around him. He only lasted 5 turns and then crashed and was out of the race. Just absolutely nightmare scenario for McLaren.
And McLaren is so far ahead in the Constructors' Championship. I think it's still theirs to lose. And I think it was like if they had placed a certain way today, they would have already clinched it, which I didn't know could happen.
Yes,
before the end of the season,
they could be so far ahead that they like no one else could potentially catch up, even if they lost every single race and didn't score any points. That's what could have happened today.
Yeah,
but
did not.
There'll be a few more opportunities down the road. Like if this happens and that happens, then yeah. But
partway through the race, they cut to Oscar in a sad little corner where he's he's just like
his phone just sitting up there
in a little viewing alcove, and he's got 2 regular sized bottles of water, and it made me sad he didn't just have one big bottle of water. I'm like, get the boy a big water. He's had a hard day.
Rough weekend for McLaren. But yeah, so Max Verstappen's the one that won the race. He was also on pole. George Russell got up into P2, so good for him to get up there. And Carlos Sainz in P3. I'm so happy for him. Yeah, so happy for Williams.
Very good news. We had a lot of fun surprises. Yuki did very well. Good, some good showings.
Yeah. Indeed. So that's what was happening at the race that happened this morning. But from some news in the past, I don't remember if we got to talk about Cadillac's new drivers. They announced them a couple weeks ago. They are going with Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez, both very experienced in Formula One. Valtteri was for a long time on Mercedes. More recently was on Sauber, but right now he is the reserve driver for Mercedes. this year. So it'll be nice to see him back on the grid. I love Valtteri Bottas. I think he's hilarious. And then Sergio Perez was on Red Bull. He was the number 2 driver with Max Verstappen as the number 1 for a long time. Kind of fell out of favor this past year as Red Bull kind of kept tuning that car for Max and not for Sergio. And Red Bull has found out the hard way that no one else can drive that car.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice to see him on the grid again too, because I think he still has some good years ahead of him. But they are both very experienced and will help Cadillac, who will be a brand new team on the grid next year, kind of figure out their car and how to tune everything just right. So that's been
good
fun.
Strategy.
We also missed talking about the Monza race, which Max won, and then it was Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, but kind of a dud of a race, except for like right at the start. There was some exciting stuff with Lando trying to get past Max and them pushing each other off and things like that. But then it just kind of leveled out and was like, all right, I guess that's it. That's the race.
Yeah.
So that's that. And then coming up, the next race is in Singapore, October 3rd through the 5th. Yeah, this is the like hot one. Real hot, real humid. They can lose a lot of weight in the course of this race. So real dangerous stuff. But that's it. That's the Formula One corner for right now.
Cool.
Good stuff with that. Any other things to say or talk about as we close out here, Melissa?
No. What are we looking forward to next time? We're about a month out from our Halloween special. Next time we meet, let's talk about this creepypasta question I posed to you a while ago.
Sure.
Can you
Sounds
find a real thing, a real piece of media, something you did not make up, that when you describe it, sounds like you made it up for a creepypasta?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good to me. Let's wrap things up right there. Melissa, where can the people find you on the internet?
Just email me at yourhostmelissa@gmail.com. I always say that this with such exasperation in my voice. So I'm like, don't make me be on an internet. Just email me. I love the quiet safety of an email inbox. Thank you very much.
Indeed. If you guys want to find me, I am on the internet at Yo Kyle Springer on most places. If you guys want to stay up to date with all the stuff that we do here at the Whatnauts, we are at thewhatnauts.com on Blue Sky. Please go like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, go check out more of our videos right over there on that side of the screen. That would also help us out a bunch. This has been number 305 of the Whatnauts Captain's Log. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.